Welcome to the Literary Titan podcast. In every episode, we dive into a book we've just read and share our thoughts, from best-selling authors to rising literary stars. We read it. Now let's talk about it. The Winter Forest by Catherine Cruzan is an epic fantasy novel about Prince Cade, also called Cadwyn, and Lythea, an Elvin warden, as their worlds collide against a growing threat tied to stolen people, corrupt power, ancient magic, Grawl, worms, and the dangerous promise of the Winter Forest itself. It has the shape of a large-scale fantasy adventure, with kingdoms, councils, magical stones, hidden betrayals, and a journey that keeps widening until personal loyalty and political survival are tangled together. I was pulled in most by the book's sense of motion. Cruzan writes action with a very physical feel. Chains bite, dust gets in the mouth, horses wear people down, and magic often feels less like sparkle and more like a force that costs something. I liked that. The fantasy genre can sometimes float above the ground, but this story keeps boots in mud and hands on weapons. Cade's early rescue of the captured Tallenfolk tells us a lot about him without needing a grand speech. He is impatient, brave, protective, and not especially fond of ceremony. That made him easy to follow, even when the story expands into a much larger cast. What I found more interesting is how much world Cruzan wants to place on the page. There are elves, humans, worms, dwarves, wardens, kings, mages, ancient grudges, and several moving political pieces. At times, I had to slow down and let the names and alliances settle. Still, I could feel the author's affection for this world. The maps, the different regions, the titles, the rituals, and the small cultural details all give the book the texture of a campaign that has lived in someone's imagination for a long time. That can make the pacing feel slow, but it also gives the story its charm. It feels like a world with real history and deep lore. The ideas that stayed with me were about duty and the danger of power without empathy. Cade and Lythea both carry heavy expectations, but neither of them feels like a simple chosen one figure. They make choices under pressure, sometimes with incomplete information, and the book seems genuinely interested in what leadership does to the heart. I also appreciated the way the story blends friendship, romance, war, and sacrifice, without letting any one element completely take over. The darker material, especially Krieger's work with the Grawl, gives the adventure real stakes. I would recommend The Winter Forest most to readers who enjoy epic fantasy with a classic adventure feel, especially those who like layered kingdoms, magical creatures, battle-ready heroes, and a strong thread of emotional loyalty running through the plot. Fans of character-driven fantasy with political tension and big-world mythology will probably have the best time here. It asks for patience, but it rewards readers who like settling into a dense fantasy world and watching its pieces slowly lock into place. Thanks for joining us on the Literary Titan podcast. If today's review sparked your interest, be sure to pick up a copy of the book and experience it for yourself. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating, or share it with a fellow book lover. Until next time, keep reading, not just to escape, but to grow.